Hi everybody, and welcome to Reader's Workshop today. To get started, I want to tell you a quick story. A little more than a year ago, in the spring, it was Saturday morning, and I was busy making breakfast at the stove. My daughters were keeping themselves busy around the house, playing, watching TV, the usual Saturday morning stuff. And after noticing that the light had been on in the bathroom for quite some time, I gave a gentle knock on the door to see if somebody was in there. My middle daughter, Ruby, responded, "I'm in here," in a pretty quiet voice. "Oh, is everything okay?" I asked. After way too long, she quietly said, "Yeah." See, Ruby's the kind of kid that likes to figure things out herself, so I didn't really push any farther. But I did keep a careful eye out when the bathroom door finally opened. I noticed right away that her head was kind of tilted downward, and her hair had been pushed way over to the side. It didn't take her older sister but 2 seconds to notice as well, and she asked, "What's up with your hair?" And that's when the waterworks started. Ruby immediately began sobbing, confessing that she had cut her own hair because she thought she wanted bangs. The reason I told you this story is because I am often very alert to my daughter's actions, because these tiny details give me clues about what's going on with their feelings and their emotions, and if their mood might be suddenly changing, which is a lot. When Ruby came out of the bathroom, head down, hair combed over to the side, I knew immediately something was up. And it's these tiny details that we are going to be alert to today. And so this leads us to our learning target, which is, as you read today and every day, you want to be alert to tiny changes. You don't want to miss the teeny details that show small changes in the character's feelings, emotions, or mood. Let's take a look at the year of the dog for a minute. If we look at the tiny details from this story, we can look at this one when Grace, or Pacey, was at her friend Melody's house. It says, "I just kept pushing the rice from one side of my plate to the other." See, this tiny detail is there on purpose. What does this tell you about Pacey? You can pause the video and think about that for a minute. You may have said she obviously didn't like the food. But then Melody's mother looked at Grace and was worried. And she said, "I hope eating all those vitamins didn't make you sick." And this detail's there on purpose too. What does this tell you about Melody's mother? Well, see, Pacey didn't like Melody's mother's food. So it kind of tells me that Melody's mother's a little bit clueless. She has no idea that Pacey really just doesn't like her cooking. It really had nothing to do with the vitamins at all. Let's peek ahead for a minute into a chapter we're going to read in a couple days. In this chapter, Pacey is in the car driving to her relative's house, and she says, "I steamed up the window with my breath and drew a dog with my finger. I tried to think about what I wanted to be when I grew up, but nothing came to mind." I want you to stop the video for a minute and talk about, what does this tell us about Pacey, this tiny detail? So imagine the movie in your mind for a minute. Here's Pacey drawing a dog in the car window as she drives to her relative's house. Well, her sisters were actually sleeping at this point, and the author didn't just put this detail in the book as a filler or for decoration. This is a signal that the author is doing something to help us understand Pacey. See, Pacey's doing some serious thinking about what she wants to be when she grows up. And This tells us that she's a thinker. Maybe she's worrying about this. Now it's your turn. I want you to open your books and either read onward or go back to a part that you've already read. And you want to stay extra alert to the details that signal your character's feelings or perhaps their emotions changing. And then share. What details did you notice that signaled your character's feelings, emotions, or mood changing? And after you've shared a little bit, you're going to continue your reading, making the mental movie in your mind and paying close attention to the details that show a character's emotions changing. Enjoy your reading today, and don't let those tiny, really important details get past you.